uh, assigned to both Judd A. and universities and colleges. And Judd A. made an amendment to it, and we're going to accept the amendment, and I'm going to ask the gentleman from Neshoba to bring us up to date.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Chairman, yeah, Judd A. Proposed a committee amendment to House Bill 1030, amends on line 305 by inserting the following after the period. And if you can bear with me, this is not very lengthy, but I do want to read it. For purposes of this section, the words private cause of action or any claim for damages of any kind means any claim or action brought by any person or current or former student athlete who is not a party to a name, image, and likeness agreement or contract with the post-secondary educational institution, athletic association, conference, or other group or organization with authority over intercollegiate athletic programs. The words private cause of action or any claim for damages of any kind should not be construed to include any claim or action by the student athlete that is engaged in a name, image, and likeness agreement for compensation. So I will tell you, and I'm going to have to defer to council, maybe with unanimous consent, but this was something that came out of Judd A. They felt like just strengthened the legislation, House Bill 1030. Sent it back to us. The chairman and I have had conversation about it. We feel like it strengthens the legislation. Maybe, Mr. Chairman, if we can do this, if I'm not out of order doing this, I'd like for council to ask for unanimous consent to have council address us and tell us really what this is doing just as briefly as he can, because I do think it does add strength to the legislation. If I could ask for unanimous consent to do that.
Do we grant unanimous consent? Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, committee. What the amendment does, in essence, is put every student athlete on equal playing field, whether or not they sign an NIM agreement with a third-party entity. So right now, the bill only covers those students who actually signed an agreement to have their name, image, and likeness used for whatever commercial purposes. What the amendment does is allows those students who were student athletes at one point, either their current student athletes or former student athletes, if it comes to light anywhere down the line that their name, image, and likeness was used without their consent, it gives them a cause of action to seek financial recourse for their name, image, and likeness being used.
So council, I want to be sure I'm clear. So here again, if you had a former student athlete and whose likeness, name, image, or likeness was used at any point at any time after he was enrolled at the university or the institution, right, he would have a cause of action, right, for that. Okay. Okay. And that would be the scope of the amendment.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we think that strengthens the bill. And I would ask the committee's consideration to adopt the amendment to House Bill 1030.
Any discussion or questions before we do that? Any? And the gentleman's moved that the amendment be accepted. And what we'll do, we're going to put a reverse repealer on it, and
okay,
where we can come back and look at it, because we just got this, and it's a pretty technical piece of legislation. And before the session's over, we'll put a repealer on it and bring it back up and look at it again to make sure everybody understands completely what it's talking about. Any other comments or questions? Any other? I need a motion.
Okay, my motion would be title sufficient do pass as amended.
The motion is titled sufficient do pass as amended. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? All opposed? All opposed? The amendment passes. Any other questions? Any other business for the committee before we leave? Have a motion? Thanks, sir. Appreciate all y'all.